I'm going to run the eyeball orient command, and before I do so, I'm going to pull the ellipsoids out of this head. Actually, let's do it with this one. Let's do it with the spheres. I've taken the eyeballs off the duck's head, and what we're going to do is reorient those eyeballs. Before I do so, remember that all of the constructions have been done in the front viewport. The eyeball sphere, the eyeball pupil split with a curve, and I placed a point in the eyeball that will be the reference point. And that could have been in any location. I chose to drop it a little bit below the middle of the eyeball. That way the eyeball will stick up slightly higher in the head. You can certainly alter that. Look at the ellipsoid, if you will, for just a moment, and you'll see that it too has the ellipsoid, the pupil, the split curve, and the point. And that is straight out of the book. Of course, the book uses the conic eye, which is this one right here. And I think what I'll do is leave that alone. But I will tell you how to tilt these so you can get the look of these using the sphere as our sample here. So I'll do everything with the orienting in the perspective view. Do your construction mainly in the front view, the orienting in the perspective view, in the XY construction plane. It really keeps things simple to get your kids working in this view. First off, they can see the duck's head and they can see the eyeball. So I'm going to select the grouped eyeball, and I'll turn off gumball for this. By the way, use gumball to rotate the eyeball after you've placed it in the head. It is a lot of fun, but we will maybe get to that. But I want to keep this very short to make sure that it works for the teachers who have asked for it. So the command is orient on surface. Once I run a command one time, I can go back to that command by right-clicking in this area. In other words, I just press that button and there it is. So that's where I'm going to get it from now on. The base point is the point, and this is going to be the next request, which was for a reference point. And I'm going to come out here away from my object and just click my mouse. Those 2 points are in the same plane. That keeps our eyeball oriented correctly. Here is the surface to orient on, and this is the dialog box, which will not change. And I would recommend that you click copy equals yes. When you do that and you orient the eyeball on the head, the eyeball that you started with stays where it was in case you want to orient it again. Followed by, of course, enter to complete the move, or in this case, the orient. Okay, let's rotate it because that's the fun part. I will remove this eyeball right here, and I will run the command again. This is the object followed by enter. This is the base point followed by enter. Now the reference point this time I'm going to pull straight out, but before I make a mouse click, I'm going to hold the control key, which is an XY lock in every C-plane. And now I'll make my left click. By doing that, I now have the opportunity to add the Z. If you look at the little readout next to my mouse, the only thing that changes is the Z number. And that's because I locked the XY with somebody called elevator mode. But I'm calling it an XY lock. So now I'm going to come down here and make a mouse click. When I pick the surface to orient on, look at where my eyeball is now looking. Is that the right phrase? I guess it is. The eyeball is now looking ahead. Because I did this, which I will do again. Select it, orient on surface. The base point is here. I come out straight. Before I make this next click, I hold down my control key, and that locks the XY when I make this click, and I'll make the left click right now. So now I go down from that location, and then I go to the surface, and I will end up with something that looks like this. Look where my eyeball is aiming. So that's the idea of having the ellipsoid or the conic, same idea. And here's the last piece I'll just throw in here for fun. Is there any reason why we can't just throw that eyeball on the way we want? Click the gumball and then start rotating that eyeball the way where we'd like it to look. Like, look at this guy here now. I like that. Let's take this one. Now he's looking over there. That little is one pay attention little duck.